Welcome everyone to the first devlog I've done on Magebane. If you want some more information on how we got here, I'll link Jannidraws devlog playlist down below. Go give it a watch. And quickly, before we jump into the updates, we will stream Magebane game development every Wednesday at 8 o'clock UTC +2 over at twitch.tv/pickfighter. Please follow us there to catch us live, link in the description. Anyway, let's get into the updates. Focus on our first boss. Does not have a material form himself, but take controls over minions, and when you damage the possessed minion, damage the boss. The minions also spawn indefinitely. Let me scroll out to show you how large one map square is. Granted that we don't need to use this entire square, but still, a lot of real estate to use. The main menu of the game looks nice, based on the spellbook, which is also the in-game menu, and it's quite a large central point of the game. We've also added a continue game button that appears if you can find the save file. Yes, we can actually save progress of the game. Not much yet, but it's there. 2 new spells have been added since I joined. The Ice Mine, which is a placeable object that explodes when an enemy gets close enough. And the Wind spell that knocks enemies back. Deals damage if they impact with anything. You can also blast the Ice Mines away with the Wind spell to make this absolute snipe. You probably notice the enemies freezes when hit by the Ice Mine, and we can thank our buff and debuff system for that. It's made so that we can set enemy immunities quite easily, as well as create resources to add to spells and objects to apply these debuffs from. I only have a freeze and slow so far, but more to come. While I was developing the new spells, I got tired of running out of mana, so I've added some debug variables to the player. They control if a spell should use mana, have cooldown, and even if the player can take damage. God mode is close by. We've also laid the basics for the dialogue system. You can talk to NPCs and it writes out the text. You can skip it by pressing the talk button again. This also works for signs. Side note, this new area will matter in quest context later. So yes, also started working on the quest system. It's pretty tightly worked in with the dialogue system to be quite easy to add and modular. Still a lot of work to do there, but hopefully I can show that off in the next devlog. A nice visual feature is that the health and mana bar fights for space on the overlay. For example, if we set more mana than health, the mana bar takes up a larger portion of the overlay. Final new thing we added so far is an improved enemy navigation system, using Godot's Navigation Region 2D. This simplifies our work and we can add some variations to the pathfinding as well. Currently we have 3 different behaviors. First one is Kongo. Those enemies pathfind straight for the player. Then we have Surround. These enemies shows a point a bit away from the player and goes there before going for the player. Finally we have Pathfinder that tries to predict where the player is when they reach them. We also had a random selection, which means that an enemy gets any of the 3 previously mentioned pathfinding AIs when they start chasing the player. To do a bit of randomization to them. We also added a line of sight raycast. The player hides behind an object and the enemy doesn't have line of sight. They will first go to the last point they saw the player, and if they can't see the player, then they go idle. During idle, they wander randomly around, but if they walk too far away from their spawn position, they just walk back. To kind of keep them in place and not having them wander to the other side of the map. And that's everything new in Magebane. But before I end this devlog, I want to give my thanks to all people that playtested Antica. I had about 12 people that tried it, and if I remember correctly, the highest level someone got was level 30 in the gathering skill. Pretty impressive. Unfortunately, I've lost the save file, so I can't check. And finally, Antica now exists as a self-hosting version. I mean, you can host your own server or just play locally as the server. But that's it for this time. Thank you all so very much for watching, and until next time. See ya. Well, if we make like a bridge that kind of turns, like a 90-degree turn to this, for example.
It almost worked.
It did. I saw you were happy there for a second.
Split second of happiness.